Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and this is what's new in the Microsoft Edge Developer Tools in version 98. In version 98, you can now emulate forced colors mode. Activity icons in the Performance tool event log now have tooltips. Shallow sizes in the Memory tool are now represented as decimal values. The search text box in the Network tool can now be resized. We've fixed some visual UI bugs with icon misalignment. And finally, we have a ton of updates from the Chromium project that are now in version 98. First up, you can now emulate forced colors mode. In addition to emulating dark, light, and print modes of the current document, we've also added the ability to see what a web page or application looks like for users who have a forced color mode enabled. Forced color mode is an accessibility feature of the operating system, and this new emulation feature allows you to test your site without having to change your system settings. To use this feature, go to the Rendering tool under the More Tools icon, and then find the Emulate CSS Media feature, Forced Colors dropdown to enable. Next, activity icons in the Performance tool event log now have tooltips. In previous versions of Edge, the Performance tool event log displayed color-coded icons representing the type of activity for each event, but it didn't display the information about what activity is represented by each color. In version 98, tooltips have been added to the activity icon to show what activity it represents. These include scripting, rendering, painting, system, and idle time. Next, shallow sizes in the Memory tool are now represented as decimal values. Previously, the shallow size in a heap snapshot in the Memory tool was commonly reported as 0% because the shallow size was so small relative to the size of the heap. In version 98, shallow size is now reported as a decimal value if the size is between 0% and 1% of the heap. Next, we've fixed an issue in the Network tool where the search box wouldn't resize when changing the size of the pane. In version 98, the search box resizes with the pane. Next, we've also fixed another UI bug in the Application tool in version 98. The icons in the Service Workers section were not aligned, and the version number in the Update Cycle tab was cutting off the expand icon. Additionally, in the Elements tool, the expand icon for script tags was also misaligned. These UI bugs have now been fixed in version 98. And finally, version 98 includes a ton of new updates from the Chromium project, including a new preview feature, a full-page accessibility tree. You can make more precise changes in the Changes tab. You can set longer timeouts for user flow recording. You can now ensure your pages are cacheable with the back-forward cache tab. There's a new Properties pane filter in the Elements pane. You can now open the command menu and run the Show Rulers on Hover command. The Flexbox editor now supports row reverse and column reverse in flex direction. There are new keyboard shortcuts to replay XHR and expand all search results. The Lighthouse panel is now running Lighthouse 9. There's also an improved Sources panel. And finally, in addition to a number of bug fixes from Chromium, endpoints in the Experimental Reporting API pane are now available. For more information and links out to all of these updates, check out the link to the developer documentation in the video description below. And that's it for what's new in version 98 of the Microsoft Edge Developer Tools. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MSEdgeDev, and like and subscribe to stay tuned for what's coming next in version 99.